Is Luka Doncic a future Hall of Famer? The Basketball Hall of Fame is not open for just anyone. It is specially made for all-time basketball coaches, referees, and players with exceptional skills. Making that make can be a very tedious task that most people would never get to engage in throughout their lifespan. Making the Hall of Fame could be the highest achievement in the basketball game. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we continue, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're only joining us for the first time. Click on the bell button to be abreast of all our upcoming and trendy videos. To all the basketball game devotees, you're probably wondering if Luka Doncic would be part of the Hall of Fame or not. For those who have no idea who Doncic is, he's a 21-year-old Slovenian professional basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks of the NBA. In today's video, we will be talking about the possibility of him being a Hall of Famer. But before we proceed, let's put into consideration the requirements for a basketball player to get into the Hall of Fame. When any individual gets inducted into any Hall of Fame, his or her achievements are emphasized, and it automatically lifts them to the exclusive class. While the requirements and selection process differ, every Hall of Fame has only the highest and most successful types of individuals who have attained the peak of excellence in their crafts. Ordinarily, there's a gallery linked with the Hall of Fame that displays and also allows the public to learn more about each inductee. On the 31st day of October each year, nominations are made for the basketball players that are to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Nominations can be made by anyone by simply submitting a nomination packet with the name of desired player in it. The nomination goes through 4 major screenings with special committees set up for them. Nominations are made into women, veterans, international, and North American categories. The nominees that pass the screening are then pushed through some examinations by the Honors Committee. Well, that's a wrap of what goes on before you finally see a Hall of Famer. Without wasting any more time, let us quickly get on discussing why our beloved player should be part of this experience. Did you recall that in the 2018 draft, the Atlanta Hawks traded Luka to the Mavericks and took Trey instead? This, however, was a very bad move on the side of the Hawks. Little did they know that Luka was going to do wonders in the basketball world and even go straight for some groundbreaking awards. Another reason why their move was a bad one was that they traded a man who, after retirement from the game, would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yes, you heard that right. Luka Doncic has potentially secured a spot for himself in the Hall of Fame. If you still have any doubts about this, let's quickly take a look at all he's been able to achieve in the few years he's been professionally in the game. But before we talk about it, let us look at the requirements necessary to make the Hall of Fame. Some of you may be thinking that getting inducted into the Hall of Fame is dumb, and Luka making it there is not a big deal. However, think about it this way. A basketball Hall of Fame does not need any experience from the NBA. It is not the NBA Hall of Fame, but rather an achievement made outside the NBA. How huge is that? Nevertheless, being a part of the NBA can seriously influence getting to the Hall of Fame, as we can remember the case of Drazen Petrovic. Taking the case of Drazen, who was a Hall of Famer, however, and comparing with Luka's achievements would give us a clue to the requirements for the Hall of Fame induction. Drazen was active in the NBA for 5 seasons. The first 2 years of his career there were spent on the Portland Trail Blazers, where he had an irrelevant role off of the bench. He got not more than 16 minutes per game, and then he was traded to the New Jersey Nets. While in the club, he incredibly managed to average 20 points per game for the last 2 seasons, and then his career was brought to an abrupt stop when he died in a car crash in Europe. Nevertheless, his team was no good in any way. They were not the sort of team to brag about, as they were kicked out by the Cavaliers for 2 straight seasons. Notwithstanding, Drazen made it to the Hall of Fame, and that was because he was so amazing while in the field and the EuroLeague. He had a few high-scoring seasons and 2-year league championships. And then there were FIBA MVPs to his name. There was no doubt that he was very good in the NBA, but not so close to being inducted to the Hall. However, his play on the EuroLeague got him a spot in the Hall of Fame. The short while he was on the field, he had an incredible resume, and it's really sad some people question the idea of him being in the Hall of Fame. Well, that's Drazen. Let us then dive into Doncic's achievements so far. Luka has always had signs of greatness written all over him. Just 21 years of age, and he's been able to achieve a lot that most men his age never dreamed about. Luka spent the first few years of his professional history in Real Madrid. He began playing with them at age 16 and is the youngest to ever play for the team. Even at the same age as a high school sophomore, Luka was not the star he was now, but he had great moves and the indications of stardom. During his last year with the club, Luka made an average of 16 points per game on over 45%. Most of his games in the EuroLeague were shots from the field, and he was playing on only 25.9 minutes on each game. He was the reason for Real Madrid's championship in the EuroLeague. He even got off with MVP award for the league. As though that was not enough, Luka was the first rookie to get the Rookie Award 3 times in a row. He was also the only rookie in the Western Conference to get the Rookie of the Month award. And before the end of the season, he had already received several considerations for the award of the NBA's Rookie of the Year. And at that point, he was averaging 20.9 points each game. Breaking records seems to be a hobby for Luka. As a teenager, he recorded 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Even though his team lost, he however became a part of the NBA history of a player with triple-doubles. He was just 10 days older than the youngest player to ever get a triple-double, Markelle Fultz. There was no doubt that with the moves associated with Luka Doncic that he was going to be given many triple-doubles in his career. No one ever expected to have them rolling in so early in his games. With another triple-double against the LA Clippers, Doncic got his 4th NBA triple-double as a rookie. Though it seems he shares a record with Fultz, however, he appears to be doing far better than Fultz. As though getting triple-doubles was not just enough for the rookie phenom, Luka added 30 points to that same stat sheet. Amazing! In his game alongside the Toronto Raptors barely 6 days after his first career triple-double, Luka averaged 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists as the Mavericks closely lost at 123-120. There has not been such a record in NBA history. No one had ever recorded 30 points alongside a triple-double as a teenager, yet Luka was the first to have ever recorded such an achievement. He was not only into breaking records, he yearned to create new ones. And then he did just that. The Slovenian just can't get a grip on his excellent skills. It is nevertheless safe to conclude that Doncic is a scoring menace. Like fans have all seen and loved to watch, Luka Doncic is a scoring menace. Whether it's a shot from the logo or a step-back three-pointer, it would always make it to the hoop. No matter how strong and defensive the opposing team may be, he always finds a way to get through it and score not just for himself, but for his entire team. This one is definitely going to blow your mind. Are you aware that Luka joined the likes of Dwight Howard, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Devin Booker, who all scored 1,000 points just before age 20? Don't you agree that for him to be compared to such a high class of players is an enormous honor for the rookie impression? In his 3 seasons, Luka became the EuroLeague MVP and the youngest ever to get that honor at just 19, an accomplishment that was not on Drazen's records. Drazen, also while in active service, never led his team to the championship and winning the final 4 MVPs as Doncic did. Not only was Luka that successful in what he does, he made the All-EuroLeague first team and won the ACB MVP. This is an MVP for a professional Spanish team. He did this 3 good times, taking his Slovenia team to the championship. If all these accomplishments are not enough reasons to have Luka Doncic inducted in the Hall of Fame, then I have relatively no idea what is. Anyway, everyone, that's it for me today. If there are other reasons you think it's justifiable enough to make Luka Doncic a future Hall of Famer, be sure to comment down below and we'll include it in a subsequent video. If you loved this video and would like to see more videos of its sort, be sure to give us a like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. That's it for me, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you in the next video.